This is Riley with All Things Fish Keeping, and in today's video I'm going to be giving an update on a new fish I've added to my 60-gallon African Congo River themed planted tank. I'll leave a link in the description below of my past video introducing this tank, but just as a quick recap, 60-gallon tank planted with anubias and water lettuce and pothos. And then as far as fish, up to this point I've had an African butterfly fish and 10 juvenile Congo tetras, along with some cleaner fish like a bristlenose pleco and a mystery snail. So in keeping with the theming of this tank, I've been looking to find an African leaf fish to add to this tank to grow into an eventual centerpiece fish. I did finally find one at my local fish store. They were able to order it in for me. I picked it up today. It's only about an inch and a half, very small, but looking good. Excited to get it into the tank. After floating the bag for about 20 minutes to acclimate to temperature, I did the plop and drop method with a net over a bucket, pouring the water through the net and into the bucket and catching the fish, and then quickly transferring it from the net into the tank. I wanted to go with a small African leaf fish for this tank initially because they are natural fish eaters in the wild. They're ambush hunters, and as you can see here, I do have a lot of small Congo tetras that are only about an inch and a half at this point. So my hope is that they'll grow up together so that as the African leaf fish grows big enough to start eating fish, hopefully the Congo tetra will also be too big at that point for him to really predate on. In doing some research prior to getting this African leaf fish, I had heard that they are pretty intelligent, have a lot of personality, and are very inquisitive. And even within just a few moments of having this fish in my tank, I've already been able to observe that to some degree. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of its personality as it gets more acclimated to the tank and more familiar and comfortable with its surroundings. With the addition of this fish, it feels like the stocking of this tank is in a pretty good place for now. I may end up adding some other fish later on, so stay tuned for that. Feel free to subscribe if you want to follow what I do. But I'm really looking forward primarily to watching the fish that are already in the tank grow and color up and increase in size. One of the things I personally enjoy most about the fish keeping hobby is just watching the evolution of a tank over time, whether that's fish evolving and growing and coloring up to plants growing in the tank and really getting settled there and adding new leaves and just the evolution over time of what changes as the system kind of settles and balances out. When I bought these Congo tetra for this tank, I bought 10 fish hoping for some males. At this point, there are some that are starting to color up and take on a little more size. It'll definitely be interesting to see over time how many males I end up with and kind of what that ratio looks like. The one fish in this tank that is a lot more mature and near adult size already is the African butterfly fish. This is just a really interesting fish, and so far has added a lot of personality and character to the tank and is doing really well. If you enjoy this type of content and want to follow the progression of this tank over time, along with the other tanks and fish that I have, please consider subscribing. Also, please consider leaving a like on this video if you've enjoyed it. And if you have any questions or comments, please throw those down below in the comment section. Be happy to answer those and hear from you there. Thanks so much for joining me today, and hope to see you on the next one.